Casey at the bat. You know, the outlook wasn't great for our Mudville Nine yesterday. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon all of us at the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest, well, we clung to that hope which springs eternal in our human breast. And we thought, if only Casey could get one more whack at that, well, we'd put up even money right now with Casey coming to the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake. And the former was a dud, the latter was a flake. So upon a stricken multitude a grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance that Casey would get to bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of us all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and the men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell that rumbled through the valley and rattled in the dell. It knocked upon the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to our cheers, he lightly doffed his cap. Not one of the crowd could doubt that it was Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then, while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip. Then the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it, haughty grandeur there. Right close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From our benches filled with people, there came a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone in the stands. And it's likely they would have, had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising uproar. He urged the game, "Go on." He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two." "Fraud!" cried the maddening thousands, and the echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful glare from Casey, and we all in the crowd were awed. We saw his face grow stern and cold. We saw his muscles strain. And we knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds and beats with violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is still shining bright. A band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light, and somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there's no joy in Mudville today. Mighty Casey had struck out. Postscript. Rest assured, loyal fans, hope eternal embodies this genteel, fun summer game. Players on sacred field where green grass sits, and stats for every homer, line drive, or hit. Bat, ball, and glove, tools for baseball fun. Throw the pitch, whack the ball, and run. Faith, lovers of the bat, ball, and glove. Casey will rise again, hero of the game we love. Some Yogi Berra quotes. Baseball is 90% mental. The other half is physical. Slump? I'm not in a slump. I'm just not hitting. Think? How are you supposed to think and hit at the same time? I'm ugly. So what? I've never seen anyone hit with his face. It's fun. Baseball is fun. Yogi Berra.